Good morning, Texans. I am Jolee Skinner.
And I am Copeland Welch.
Today we have an exclusive interview with Tarleton State University President Dr. James Hurley. We will be talking about the future of Tarleton and upcoming news. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Hurley.
Thanks to both of you for having me this morning, and I'm excited about the interview.
Awesome. So this August, it will have been 5 years since you have been named president of Tarleton State University. Yeah. What was your vision 5 years ago for the school, and how does it compare to your vision now?
Oh, great question. Well, my initial vision coming in was to truly do what's called a 6-month listening and learning tour. I wanted to learn more about the culture, the people, the place, right? You read about, before you arrive, about the Pooh, about the Plowboys, about the love of all things purple and white, about the sense of family that's on campus, and then when you're here, it hits pretty quickly. We knew the very first time when Kendall and I visited campus, it was early June of 2019, maybe late May, early June, and we were exploring whether or not we wanted to pursue this opportunity. We had this sense of, once we were on campus, of course, all students were gone. They had, I think, a band camp and FFA camp going on. So lots of other students, not necessarily Tarleton Texans, future Texans on campus. But the people that we interacted with, we obviously didn't share while we were here because I was a setting president at another institution. And so we had to be very cautious. But just getting a sense of the friendliness, the love of place, the love of the mission of the institution, we just felt this tremendous sense of peace and purpose. And so I knew very early that my vision, I didn't want to create a vision that was counterintuitive to the DNA of this institution. And the DNA of Tarleton State has always been predicated upon student success. It's always been about putting the needs of our students first. So I knew whatever vision that I wanted to cast, we had to be very cautious not to, it couldn't supersede what was already in place. Because we came because we fell in love with the institution as it was.
Yeah.
And as a leader, both of you know this, and you only want to leave it better than you find it, right? You all want to leave the Texan News Service better than you found it, and then the next person, their goal is to leave it better than they found it.
So when you first stepped onto the campus, what was your initial impression of the campus and the university?
The vast beauty, the trees, like as you know, this morning we have 3 trees down because we had a tremendous windstorm last night that wreaked havoc not only across campus but across central Texas. The trees, the campus beautification was just really unmatched. The campus is, although we're 124 years old, which is a fairly old campus for Texas, the institution I came from, we had just celebrated at TU, we had celebrated our 225th year.
Oh, wow.
Right, and we were one of the, I think we were the 23rd oldest higher ed institution in the nation. So it was still relatively young, but yet the campus was 100 plus years old. But it doesn't feel like a campus that's 100 plus years old. The infrastructure is really good. You have a lot of new modern buildings with a blend of old buildings. And architecture across campus is very consistent, right? If you really think about it, outside of Wisdom Gym, most of our architecture looks very similar, and it's very consistent with the brick patterns and the Acme Texas brick, etc. So we just fell in love with the beauty. We didn't really know a lot of people. In fact, we didn't know anyone when we came here. So I didn't come for the people. I came for the mission and the place, and within days we fell in love with the people.
That's awesome. So back in the fall of 2023, Tarleton went up 8.6% a year ago in the university's enrollment, serving 16,230 students and outpacing many institutions nationwide. And Tarleton is only growing. How do you think the university can expand as fast as the student enrollment is expanding?
Yeah, that's something. So today is Tuesday morning when we're taping the show. we had our executive cabinet meeting, which is my 10 VPs, and we talked through strategic planning for the spring semester. Part of that is enrollment management, managing the growth. Thankfully, at a place like Tarleton, where we have multiple campuses, we can disperse the growth very differently. As you know, one of our big initiatives right now is Tarleton Today. We want to offer high school sophomores, juniors, seniors an opportunity to earn Tarleton credit while they're in high school. It reduces the cost of a college degree, in particular the cost of a Tarleton degree. And so giving these students in these rural opportunities, these rural communities, rural schools, an opportunity to have access to a Tarleton education is really, really important to me. As you both know, I'm a first-gen poverty product. And so without a place like Tarleton, I wouldn't be sitting here today. And so access, opportunity, and affordability is really important to me. And I'm also proud to say that we've not increased tuition and academic fees in the last 4 years. And I'm very, very proud of that. We've reduced the cost per bed for our students on campus. So in terms of a Tarleton degree, we've made it more affordable than it's ever been. And my commitment is to try to remain steadfast in making sure that all Texans can afford a Tarleton degree, that they have access and they have opportunity. One of the things that I don't want to do, I never want to be exclusive. I want to be inclusive. And so I'm okay with us growing as much as we can possibly grow, but we have to manage it. We have to be sensible about it. We have to add the infrastructure. And I know we're going to talk about new infrastructure. We have to add classroom space. We have to add parking. We have to add housing. But we also have to think about our Waco campus, Fort Worth campus, and our Rellis campus.
Yeah, absolutely. In 2023, Tarleton made national headlines in the Wall Street Journal, recognized as ranked 5th among universities highly recommended by students and alumni. What was your reaction to that report?
I was very, very proud. That was one of the most proud moments I've ever had as a president, because it wasn't anything that one individual at the current institution in terms of folks that are on payroll, right? People expect me to say great things about Tarleton. One, I love Tarleton. It's easy for me to say great things about Tarleton State University. But it's another when you, the students, and the alumni, and I think it was the most recent alumni. So it's alumni that I think the year was 20, but don't hold me to it.
Yes.
20 years or less, graduated within the last 20 years, or current students that would recommend Tarleton. That's when you know you've done some really, really good things as an institution. When your students are telling other students, hey, please come and join our family because we have a lot of fun, we whatever, right? For whatever reason. We learn at the highest level. We have experiential learning opportunities. We have study abroad opportunities. We have research opportunities. All those things that really matter. It was really neat. It was really special.
Yeah, it's awesome. Also, back in December of 2023, you announced that you and the Stephenville mayor signed a new Town Gown Alliance agreement, cementing Tarleton's partnership with the city of Stephenville.
Yeah.
What will that entail in this new agreement between Tarleton and Stephenville in particular?
Yeah, that's a really good question and an excellent point. One of the things that we want to do is we know, as to your point, your earlier question, as Tarleton State University Stephenville campus continues to grow, we have to have the town gown partnerships. We have to have the city of Stephenville. We have to have the county of Erath alongside us to also produce the infrastructure that we need, because not every student wants to stay on campus, right? So we are adding new beds. We're going to talk about that in a moment. We're going to add new academic infrastructure on campus. But we also, a lot of our students want to stay off campus, in particular that junior and senior year. So we need the city to step up and to ensure that we have enough water, that we have good roads, we have great hospitals, great shopping, but also housing. And so the city of Stephenville, Mayor Savine, our city council, they're in lockstep with us to work with private developers to build the housing that we need outside of the gates of Tarleton.
Yeah. And with the rise of inflation in particular, it's hitting college students pretty hard.
Yeah.
How do you and the Stephenville mayor plan to keep rent in particular and costs low for housing for students off campus?
Yeah, great question. And it comes down to supply demand. We've got to put more supply online, because if you have a very small number of beds available, then they're going to charge a premium price. But if we have a large inventory of beds, then competition will drive down the cost. And so that's why volume and density matter. And so the more private housing that we can develop, and the more private housing that others will come along and partner with us to build, that will automatically drive down the cost for our students.
Yeah, absolutely.
The mayor made a comment, and I can't remember the exact number, but roughly 70%, I think it's 72% of rooftops in Stephenville, we'll have to fact check this, but it's roughly 70% of rooftops in Stephenville are now rentals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we all know who's renting those. It's primarily our students, some faculty and some staff, but mostly our students.
Yeah.
So it's important to me that our students not get taken advantage of. And so I advocate very strongly for our students, both inside the gates of Tarleton and outside the state gates of Tarleton, to ensure that our students are not taken advantage of and that they have an opportunity at equitable housing and affordable housing.
That's awesome. Shifting gears a bit, you are constantly traveling and hosting events on all the Tarleton campuses. You travel across the state and the nation advocating for Tarleton quite a lot. You also have a wife and young children.
Yeah.
How do you balance your time as president and balance your time as being a father and a husband as
Yeah,
well?
that would be a great question for our First Lady, Mrs. Hurley, because she would probably tell you I don't do a great job of that. Even when I'm off, I'm always thinking, like if we're on vacation, which is rare, but if we're on vacation, I'm always thinking of ways that we can be better as an institution, ways that we can serve our students and our faculty and our staff and alumni better. So it's really hard for me to shut it off. Like I'm always in CEO mode. One of the things I love to do, my oldest son Drew and I, we were able to get away for a few days and we went to Alta, Utah to ski. And so I love skiing in the winter. I don't get to do it much. I think we skied 3 days. And then in the summer, we love the lake. And so if we can, we try to get away and go to the lake and spend time on the boat, et cetera. But other than that, it's really hard. I love my family. We love our Tarleton family. We love living in the Trogdon house. We really do.
Yeah.
And it's exceptional, and we love being part of it.
That's awesome. Yeah. So how do you see Tarleton's mission evolving in the future?
I think so for us to our vision and mission, we are, as we continue to be one of the fastest growing comprehensive public universities in the country, we can never lose sight of those three values: being affordable, being accessible, and providing opportunities. And so I think for us to have those opportunities to continue to meet the needs of the region, the state, and the nation we serve, it's really, really important. And so how can we continue to be that institution? For example, in the last 2 legislative sessions, we've made a tremendous investment in health sciences, meeting the healthcare needs. We have to increase and enhance affordability and access to quality healthcare, be it nursing, PT, OT, PA, and then whether or not it makes sense for us to explore having a medical school to meet the vast needs of the region. We're going to do all those things. We're going to explore those opportunities and continue to be the region that meets all those needs.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there any particular new developments or anything coming up this semester, this year, that you're excited about for Tarleton?
Yeah, so next week, thank you for that plug. I hope that all of you can be in attendance next week as we have our groundbreaking behind the nursing building. We will, on Wednesday, we will break ground on the brand new 100,000 square feet health professions building.
Oh, wow.
And that will allow us to, again, the PA program, the OT program, the other health science programs that we're launching, it will allow us we'll have the space, right? It will allow us to create a platform to create more programs. So we're really excited about that. The new arena on campus is going to be really helpful because it's going to be able to enhance the student activities that we have, from things like concerts and symposiums and seminars and those types of things. And of course, the parking garage. I know we hear you. We know we need to add more parking. We're diligently working on parking. We have the first parking garage under construction, as you know, but the second parking garage is already under development, and then we hope to have that in the board before the board for approval in the next 6 to 12 months, so we can start on the second parking garage just to keep up. We need to add more beds, so in the upcoming board meeting, we anticipate the board to approve 1,000 new beds on campus.
Okay.
So a lot of really neat things,
Yeah.
and part of what we're going to do with their new housing, we know we need to add amenities such as dining and additional places to work out, right? So we're going to have mixed use housing. So you may have a dining hall on the base of one of the residence halls, and that's going to be really cool.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, is there any questions we missed or anything we should have asked you?
No, I think you did a great job. Thank you. We're excited about the semester. We're excited about the future. And I'm really proud of the job that you're doing here at the Texan News Service. And we're thankful for your advocacy and also advocating on behalf of our students and our faculty and the staff, but also representing Tarleton State in a very positive manner. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for recognizing that
Happy
about
New Year.
us. Yes, Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes. Well, thank you, Dr. Hurley, for joining us today.
This has been a production of Texan TV News, a product of the Texan News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.
You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and check out our website at www.texannews.net for all of your latest campus, local, and Texas news. Today's broadcast was produced by the Texan TV staff. Be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions about today's stories in the comments below. Have a wonderful day, Texans.